Here in Oklahoma, we have many seasons of change. We have 4 different seasons, and there's always a transition period. I want to give you 3 tips about how to weather these transitions, whether it's weather, whether it's school coming and going, whatever that is. I want to give you 3 tips on how to stay mentally and physically healthy during these transitions. Gardening really brings out the seasons to me. When I plant in early spring, I have such hopes for the future. And in June, July, August, there's beautiful vegetables here that you can eat right off the vine. There's squash, there's tomatoes, there's cucumbers, there's okra in later season. And there's always something to go out to the garden and look forward to. And it's that way in life too. During certain seasons of our life, we're excited about what's happening. We see the future and the possibilities and hope and want to plan. But we also know that there's times, as in with my garden, when I walk out there and things are starting to die off, like here now that it is September. The tomatoes aren't quite as juicy. They're not quite as red. There's not near as many of them. The cucumbers are gone. The cold was too much, and the okra is just now ending its season. So all of those things together, kind of when I walk outside, I am a little bit saddened because the vibrancy is gone. So tip number 1 for you is really to begin to prepare now. So whatever those seasons in life, whether it's gardening, whether it's a transition from summer to fall where you've had so much fun times with your kids and you haven't had to worry about a schedule, you haven't had to worry about packing lunches, you haven't worried about homework, and you've had such a relaxed time. Now it's time for the routine. Now it's time for dealing not only with things that might come up with you with anxiety or concern about transition, but your kids. So there's that piece of a transition that's happening now that it's fall. And then you may be the teacher too, not only have kids, but be the teacher. And so you're dealing with the change of being off and being able to be a little bit more relaxed in your summers. And now going back to a full schedule with kids that have their own transition concerns and they're transitioning too naturally. So things to think about are, if you know, prepare now. If you know that this is a difficult season and a difficult transition, what can you do? What are those road bumps? What are those potholes that you can look to and think about and how to resolve? So to take it back to gardening, I know that right this season I get pretty bummed. So I start thinking about what can I plant. Visualize what that time looks like that is difficult for you, whether it is everybody coming home and they're tired from work, school, from everybody a little bit cranky in the middle of the week, having a full schedule, going to football and basketball and cheerleading and all of those things in the evening where you don't have that fluid family time like you did. So how can you create, if you look at your 7-day schedule, if you look at your month schedule, visualize what that can look like and see where you could fit in some of those times of what's meaningful to you. So if it's meaningful to you to have the family around the table, if it's meaningful for you to have some quiet time in the living room or sitting outside looking at the stars, whatever that is, visualize that and prepare and to put that on your calendar. Also visualize the things that are stressful to you and feel that feeling and know that, okay, that is a time that is difficult for me. It's a transition time, whether that be getting off work and setting up dinner, whether that be coming home from work and knowing that you have chores outside. Whatever that is and whatever that looks like, visualize those difficult times too, and think about what you can plant ahead to enjoy to get through those times. What are those supports that you need? So for me and for my gardening, I'm planting some fall vegetables. I'm preparing the beds for next spring when I can start growing things. Um, your your life right now may be in those transitions. It may be making sure that once a week you have dinner around the table with your family, or once a week you guys are doing no activities, you're doing no TV time, no online time, whatever that is, and playing a game. Just even little pieces of that will help with that transition and knowing what you can hold on to and look forward to. And number 3 is finding your community. So we visualize, we prepare, and now we find our community. So finding your community may be just looking around and see who is in your life. See who's in your life that maybe you haven't touched base with in a while. See who's in your life that needs help so that you can help and serve. Find your community and of people that maybe you yourself need help, and that's okay. So you may have a difficult time during some of these transitions where you need to ask for help. Find that one person, those two people, that not only hopefully get you the help you need, whether that be picking kids up from school or organizing a project, or hey, I just need some help with getting my house under control. Whatever that is, when you by you asking somebody else for help, that builds trust. It shows you're vulnerable enough to ask for help and give somebody else the opportunity to come into your life and to help you. And then they're going to feel comfortable when they get in a difficult time to ask you for help. And that builds community. It builds our ability to serve others. And it helps with these difficult times in transition is having a community. If you don't have a community or you feel like you're lonely or lost or just have some bridges that have been burnt, that consider how you could repair those. Maybe even just choose one in this season of life that you need to repair or resolve something, and begin to build back that community. Be open to change and be open to forgiving somebody or looking over, having some grace for somebody that maybe they don't operate the way you do, but you still want that connection. And they still desire that connection. So people always say life's too short, and it is. So rebuild some of those community and bridge to other people so that you have that social support and you don't find yourself isolated and alone. So again, those tips are to prepare now, think ahead, visualize some of those potholes and visualize what you do enjoy in this next season, and continue to build your community and ask for help when needed. You got this.